Welcome. I'm Justina. I own Ignite Yoga. And thanks for joining me today for the short practice. Will be about 20-25 minutes. And we're going to build into classical headstand today. So come into an easy seat. You can sit either onto your heels or you can open your heels and let your sit bones ground down. And you might feel a gentle tug or pull on the tops of your thighs. It's a good thing. And close your eyes for just a moment. And sense around in your body, make sure you're not feeling pain anywhere. So distinguishing the difference between pain and resistance or sensation. Move or adjust as you need to. And make that your commitment today as we practice. That if you need to move, if you need to do something different than what I cue, that you will take it upon yourself to do that. To keep your body safe, but to also stay in the practice. We often get stuck in the idea of I don't know, or overwhelm or confusion. And so if you find yourself in that place today, promise to yourself that you'll pause and then tune in. Create a slight constriction in the back of your throat. And take a deep, full Ujjayi breath. Open your mouth and sigh. Blink your eyes open. On your inhale, reach your arms up to the ceiling. Hold on to your left wrist and lift your rib cage up. Take a little, just a micro side bend to your right. And come back up to center. Hold on to your right wrist and lift. And as you exhale, take a micro side bend to your left. Lift back up on your inhale. Place your hands down to the ground. Shift forward into a tabletop position. On your next breath in, look up to the ceiling for cow pose. As you exhale, untuck your toes. Press down into the tops of your feet and round your back into cat pose. Inhale, look up for cow. And begin to just move the spine so that you can feel each vertebra in your back move. A few more times on your own. Breathe in, look up. Each exhale takes you into a different position. The next time you move into cat pose, press down into the tops of your feet, hover your knees up, soften your face, your jaw, your eyes. Pull the pit of your belly in and up and draw the tailbone down even more. Now press your left arm a little straighter, press your right arm as straight as the left. Lower your knees back down to the ground. On your inhale, look up for cow pose. Tuck your toes this time, lift up and go back, downward facing dog, and drop your head. Let your head dangle and turn your head side to side, lots of freedom in your neck. Step your feet apart so they're as wide as your mat, and on your inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, curl your tailbone under and roll all the way forward into a high plank position. Lift up on your kneecaps so your legs are toned. Set your eyes steady, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Lengthen the right arm more than the left arm. And make the left arm as long as the right arm. Bend both knees and elbows. Keep the arms strong. As you exhale, pull your belly in, push the ground away, downward facing dog, drop your head. Inhale, bend your knees, maybe even bend your elbows. Tuck your tailbone, and as you exhale, roll. High plank pose, there's no need to rush. On your inhale, bend your knees and elbows. Pull your belly in and up and lift back, downward facing dog. One more time, bend your knees. Exhale, curl your tailbone. High plank pose. As you inhale, bend your knees and elbows. Lift from the low belly, downward facing dog. Take your heels up high. Walk to your hands, all the way forward to your hands. Bow forward, grab opposite elbows for Ragdoll pose. Release your hands down. Bend your knees. Again, drive down through your heels. Draw your tailbone down as you roll up to stand. Reach your arms up to the ceiling. Hold your left wrist. Bend over to your right side. Come back up to center on your inhale. Hold your right wrist and bend over to your left side. Inhale to center. Reach your 10 fingers up. Bend your knees, fold forward. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet wide. Bend your knees, maybe bend your elbows. Roll forward as you exhale into high plank pose. Bend your knees and elbows, breathe in. Pull from your low belly, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take your heels up. Look to the top as you empty. Step, walk. If you want to hop, you can hop to the top. Wave your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, bow deep. So hold behind your calves or behind your ankles and draw into yourself. Rise up to the ceiling. Inhale. Hold your left wrist, bend over to your right side. Come back up to center. Hold your right wrist, bend to your left side. Back to center. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift. Downward dog. Bend your knees and elbows. Curl your tailbone under first. Exhale, roll forward into high plank. Bend your knees and elbows. Lift your belly first. Exhale, downward facing. Take your heels up. Exhale, look forward, step, walk, or hop to your hands. Halfway lift. Bow in, hold behind your calves, hug in, rise up. Hold your left wrist and bend to the right. Inhale, back up. Hold the right wrist and bend to the left. Back up, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift. Downward dog, step your feet wide. Bend knees and elbows. Curl your tailbone under and roll forward, high plank pose. Bend your knees and elbows. Draw your belly in and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your forearms down to the ground and interlace your 10 fingers. Tuck your bottom pinky into the grip. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling and walk your feet forward any amount. So you're going to continue to stretch that threshold of how far you can walk your feet forward, but only with core strength. So tone up in the low belly. Lengthen up through the sit bones up high. And then collapse your shoulders so your head drops towards the ground. And then push the ground away through your elbows. And collapse the shoulders and push the ground away. Collapse, breathe in. Push the ground away as you breathe out. Nice and slow, so your shoulder blades glide. You're not forcing or pushing. Heels up again, hips up. A few more rounds. And then push the ground away. Lower your knees down to the ground. Sink your hips back to your heels and sit up onto your heels. Place your fingertips behind you so your fingertips point towards your feet. Shrug your shoulders and rotate your biceps open. Lift up through your chest and press your 10 fingertips down. Rise back up, downward facing dog. Take your right leg to the ceiling. Scoop your knee to your nose. Step your right foot forward. Crescent lunge, inhale, rise up. Now take a full breath, and as you exhale, swing your arms back behind you and snuggle your shoulder blades towards your spine. On your inhale, wave your arms up. You can even wave through your spine, straighten both legs. Exhale, bend into your front knee and swing your arms back. And now start to get into it a little bit more. Start to clean out any cobwebs that you have. Exhale, sigh it out, swing back. Roll up through your spine. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, swing your arms back. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, swing back. Straighten both legs. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, swing it back. Now reach your arms all the way forward. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog, step back. Take your left leg to the ceiling. Draw your knee in and up towards your nose and step your left foot forward, crescent lunge. Steady your gaze, steady your eyes, steady your breath. Inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, arms go back and snuggle your shoulder blades together. Now wave up and straighten both legs. Breathe in. Bend the front knee and swing your arms back. Inhale, wave up, breathe in. Exhale. Don't be afraid to make some sound. Inhale, wave up. Exhale. Inhale, wave up. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Let it out. Reach your arms forward. Breathe in. Downward dog. Breathe out. Step your feet wide. Bend your knees and your elbows. Roll forward into high plank pose. Bend your knees and elbows again. Exhale. Downward facing dog all the way back. Float your right leg to the ceiling. Inhale. Scoop your knee in and up towards your nose again and step your right foot to the top of your mat. Take your left leg up to the ceiling. Tent your 10 fingers. Take your right hand behind your right leg. Now lift up the back leg. Use the strength of your right arm and draw in. Trust that your body will figure it out along the way, so we're not going from 0 to 100. But every breath, every moment, you invite in a little more contraction, a little more drawing inward. Step your left foot all the way to the back of your mat, downward facing dog, step back. Inhale, float your left leg to the ceiling. Exhale, scoop your knee to your nose. Step your left foot forward. Tent your 10 fingers and take your right leg up. Now again, gradual. Take your left hand behind your left leg. Take the right leg up a little more and then use the strength, the contraction of your arm. Lift your low belly in and gradually, just moment by moment, draw your forehead towards your shin bone. Step your right foot all the way back, downward facing dog. Step your feet wide, bend your knees and your elbows. Wrap your elbows in towards one another, curl your tailbone, and roll all the way forward into high plank pose. Breathe in, forearm plank, bring your forearms down. Interlace your 10 fingers, drop your pelvis slightly, and hold. Open your eyes. Look slightly forward. When things get tough, we want to hide our heads, close our eyes, and go inward, go away from what's happening right in front of us. But just open your eyes, see what you see, breathe. Now, from the low belly, lift your hips up. Walk your feet forward. Tuck your bottom pinky into the grip if it's not there. In your toes, push forward. Now tuck your chin so your head is still lifted. Push your toes into your toes, shift forward, tuck your chin, and then place your head down right behind the back of your wrists. Again, not compromising any kind of strength. Push the ground away through your elbows, and this might be enough. If you can, tiptoe a little further forward in the toes and take one leg up to the ceiling. Stretch it up. Set the leg down. Take the other leg up to the ceiling. Stretch it up. Shift as far forward on the bottom toes as you can. Set the left toes down. Child's pose, hips to your heels. Roll side to side for a moment. Bring your hands back forward, shift into tabletop. Bring your elbows down to the ground. Interlace your 10 fingers. If you're not proficient in classical headstand, a wall is a great place to go to. Interlace your 10 fingers with the bottom pinky in. Tuck your toes and lift your hips up again, dolphin pose. Tiptoe your toes forward. Keep breathing. Now push through your toes so your body weight shifts forward. Tuck your chin and set your head down right behind the backs of your wrists. Tiptoe a little bit more forward. Bend one knee into your belly and squeeze it as closely to your ribs as you can. Shift as far forward on those bottom toes as you can. Maybe both knees come into a little ball. Squeeze the legs together. Stay here or start to bring the knees right over top of the hips. Stay here or stretch the legs all the way up to the ceiling, classical headstand. Now, if you know your classical headstand, by all means, stay here 10 to 20 breaths. For those of you working towards the posture, resist that urge to kick just to get into it. and stay with the progression. Dolphin pose, forearm plank. Once you are complete, you'll bend your knees, bring your knees into your belly, and bring the knees, toes, down to the floor. Child's pose, a nice, long child's pose. Take big, deep breaths. Take your hands forward in front of you. Slide forward onto your belly. Sphinx pose. Prop yourself up. Point through the 10 toes. So really point your 10 toes back. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Press down into your hands, lift up your chest. And slowly come back down. Tabletop, press up. Swing your legs around. Lie down onto your back. Grab opposite elbows and take happy baby pose. Notice your breath as it starts to soften. Gently close your eyes. Shift your breath so that it's down into the low belly if it hasn't reached down there yet today. Try to expand down into the base of your pelvis, into the belly button area. And take a deep breath and lie down for Shavasana. as you start to come out of your Shavasana, deepen your breath, but deepen it with the attitude of receiving the breath rather than taking breaths and drawing in. Imagine that all you need is already there and you're just receiving it. Bend your knees, place your feet to the floor. Roll onto either side of your body. And press yourself into an easy seat. Rest your hands onto your knees. Sit still for just a moment. We have urges all the time to be done, to move on. But for just a moment, sit a little longer. Be still. Place your hands together at your heart center. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. And join me for Om, hum, or just listen. Inhale. Draw your thumbs to your forehead center, bowing forward with peace and with much gratitude. Namaste.